Yeah. All right.
91. Let's do it.
SoundCloud music.
Oh shit, we took a week off, but we back. I hope y'all miss us. We missed y'all too. Welcome live from San Diego, California. This is the last Jig Is Up podcast episode of 2017.
Oh my gosh.
I repeat, the last episode of 2017, which is also episode 91 of the Jig Is Up podcast. And you know me, I'm your host, It's Marco, and I'm with.
It's your guy, M Easy.
It's your girl, Miss Nessa, a.k.a. Blaze, your mommy.
Well, all right there. So however you listening to this podcast, make sure you subscribe, rate, and review.
Yeah.
And most importantly, make sure you share. Whatever favorite, whatever favorite podcasting platform you're listening to. So go ahead,
man,
spread the
funny.
word. I'm doing my fake ass Midnight Love radio voice song.
Sound like you're supposed to be on a Spike Lee movie or something.
Oh shit, Spike Lee.
Oh, Spike.
Oh, she's gotta have it.
I still haven't watched it. Are you?
I haven't
you already
finished it, no.
Okay.
It's just
I've been watching other stuff.
it's like I watched it. It just came and went to me. It didn't hit me. It didn't strike a chord. I mean, it's like it's Spike Lee trying to be modern, and then he hit you with the artsy shit, with the theater shit, and
You know-
motherfuckers start dancing out of nowhere.
Yeah, see.
And jazz music like that. I'm like, niggas ain't really fucking with jazz like that in 2017 like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I still love his choice of music in his
yeah.
stuff, and the artsy, like, the intro was dope.
Yeah.
I still want that from
It's still artsy, but
him. Yeah, but the other stuff, like the
But the part that correct me up, I don't know if you made it that far, but what's that girl's Nola's boss, Rockaletta Moss.
nah,
She
I
kept
get
talking
that
herself in the third person throughout the whole monologue. She's like,
Oh my
Rockaletta
God.
Moss, Rockaletta Moss. I'm like, oh my God, Spike, did you write this shit? Did you write this shit,
He
dog?
had to.
Oh my God.
He had to have written it.
Oh my God. You need like Issa like help you or something.
I know, right? That'd be interesting.
That
would be a
if
cool
she's
little
got to have it
collab.
was something that was like a little
I
close to Insecure.
I think it was trying to answer, Insecure for the East Coast people, for Brooklyn.
Yeah, if you
because the
notice-
similarities were there.
Mm-hmm.
Black woman protagonist. You make Issa's character. Of course, Issa was insecure, insecure protagonist. She had many layers to her character. Of course, she's not. She's a very flawed character, and that's what makes it work for any drama. And she, is questioning. She's single. She's questioning her infidelity. She's trying to move on with her life, as opposed to Nola Darling, who is a sex-positive, polyamorous, pansexual woman. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a
mouthful.
lot. Yeah,
That's a lot. I mean, they do exist, but, like, man, that's a unicorn. No Porcingas.
stupid.
Shout out to our New York listeners out there. Dead ass B.
Right. OD.
OD. But, man, how you guys doing, man? Took the week off. How was y'all holidays?
It's cool, man. A lot of food.
A lot of food?
Yeah, a lot of food.
Yeah.
A lot of food.
Food. Chilling.
Just,
Yeah. I mean, it was cool.
Had
Watch
to-
basketball, play NBA. What did I play? NBA Jam.
Oh, you played that? Okay.
Yeah, my cousin kept saying, "Come on, let's play." They have like every single console like available, like
you
since
know,
Atari.
I almost thought you said they gave you every single console because
Oh,
they was
no.
getting replacements. I'm like,
Damn.
hey, Nessa, which one you don't want?
No, but you
That's
know
about
what?
to run the arcade circuit or
I
some
know.
shit.
Yeah, so one of them they're like, oh, my mom's gonna give me an Xbox One. I was like, don't you already have one? He was like, yeah. I'm like, why is he getting you another one? He was like, I don't know, just because it's there. Like my mom's weird. Like my aunt is so weird. Yeah. And mind you, there's 7 of them.
Did you
like
ask him
total.
about that old one?
No, but they're so she'll get one for one and she'll get one for the other. But they like share it, so it's kind of like. Technically, they don't need 2 because even if she buys one for one, she buys one for the other. Like 1 year, she bought like all of them Xboxes. Like, what are they gonna do with 3 consoles?
The only thing I would say is if they wanted to play online together.
Yeah,
because you can't do that just on one Xbox.
That's true.
And that would be super dope.
You don't want to be co-op and split screening and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's whack.
Yeah.
They'd have to be in separate rooms though, or separate TVs.
We off that shit, B.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you really want to do that for fun.
That shit would be funny.
Shit,
that's a crazy thing about video games too. I want to just add this real quick. Everything's social in a video game. Like nobody just goes and plays on their own by themselves to that video game. They have to get online and play with their friends or people, just random people. It's all social now. Like the only reason the games will sell is because of the social
aspect
of it, which is crazy now.
That's tight.
Right.
I haven't been picking up the sticks in a while.
Man. I miss you, man.
I'm semi-retired, man.
My brother missed you on there, man.
I remember this nigga used to call me thirsty when I get online playing.
Cause we be playing, and you see like the results of each round. I'm like, damn, this nigga, man. I gotta catch up. We're on the same team, you know what I'm saying? But he'll be like the number 1 person making the impact, killing the most, and all that shit. I'm down here getting like the 2s and fews.
Getting hate mail from motherfuckers.
Right.
They thinking I'm Mexican because it says, yo, it's Marco.
Right.
I'm fucking camping Mexican.
Oh, my God.
Oh, people call me all kinds of niggers online because they started losing.
That's fucked up.
Now, do you know who else is funny online? That nigga, Jankius. Shout outs to yes. When you played with him.
I didn't know you played.
Oh, dude, he plays like he was one of the first niggas like who told me about playing online and shit.
Okay.
That nigga be talking hella shit.
That's funny.
And it's so funny because like he's a big dude and he be talking shit. And then when motherfuckers say some shit back to him, he's like, I bet you won't say it to my face.
Right.
He's like,
with a smile on his face.
Right.
Yeah.
And Eddie Brock looking at him.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he would say it to his face in real life. Nigga, he's the type of, hey, shout out to him. He's the type of nigga who'll find your IP address. Pull up to your house.
Jay and Silent Bob style.
Beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
That is funny as fuck.
That's my guy, though, man. Gotta get him back on the episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, man. But we gonna switch things up, man. I don't have a nothing to say segment because this is a year-end wrap-up. But since we didn't get to record last week, Miss Nessa here has her NSA ready, and she has to get some shit off her chest. So the floor is yours, Miss Lady.
Damn, son, where do you find this? This the Jig Is Up podcast with Nessa's Service Master.
I gotta get Kmart to do one for 2018
Right?
or something.
Or pay a DJ or a producer. Killing my guy here.
Here's the end right here.
I want to say something very gross.
Aw,
But I won't say it.
All I was gonna say is if he sound like he fucking up ice cream or something.
No, it sounds like you're getting head from your girl. And she's trying to make you come, but you can't come, but you're hard as fuck. And she's just struggling really hard to get you off. And you just look at her like, oh, bless your heart.
Right.
She's sitting there just doing all the tricks, the tongue,
It's like, babe, just
the
stop.
throating.
You don't have to do that anymore.
She,
But I want you to come.
yeah, that's like our greatest.
But
satisfaction.
but ladies, a guy enjoys when you see tears rolling down your eyes. And maybe just a little snot, a little struggle
my
snot.
God.
Struggle
I'm cool. Keep y'all snot. Keep the snot in your nose. Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
But the tears though.
Snot.
But the tears though. The
Yeah,
struggle
that's
tears.
easy.
Oh yeah, guys love that shit.
Yeah, all you
Oh,
gotta do is gag real quick.
You okay?
Waterworks.
You okay, girl? We'll
Oh,
get you some
man.
tissue.
Just leave the spit on it. Just leave the spit on
Leave. Ew.
The gag re-
it. Right.
I don't
man.
know. When I do that, like
shit.
I get embarrassed, but I feel like
Don't get
you
embarrassed.
guys
Niggas
like
love that
Niggas
shit.
Like,
like
I'm
that.
telling you, this,
I
he
know I
probably
do.
gained another half inches in girth. Like that shit.
Right.
You'll probably find an extra inch that wasn't there before. Nigga, you do that to a nigga, he what? Did you just grow inside my mouth? Yes, I
Why
did.
does it feel like you got bigger? Because I did.
I didn't know I had it in there.
Right.
You stupid. He's so dumb.
Just donated another ounce of blood down there from
I
another
know.
part of my body.
The brain reacted to it. It's like, nigga, we need more blood down there.
Right.
She is gagging.
Right. Oh my god.
Pump in the extra blood.
You so stupid.
Press the red button.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I try not to gag, but sometimes it just happens.
Oh my
And
god.
then the tears start coming, and I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah.
That's
you
life.
can't even wipe your hands because you got spit all over it from doing all this shit.
Oh, the basket weave technique? Nessa doing the basket weave technique out here?
No comment.
No comment. I
Too
mean,
late for that.
I gets it done.
Good job.
All right, you guys.
whoever you get it done to,
and I bet you niggas who listening is like, man, fuck.
right.
Wish it was me. Fuck.
I mean, because I have a little mouth, so. I
Dude,
feel
don't
like
keep saying that.
Shut up.
You're giving the listeners all kind of like imagery. They like little mouth,
Right.
basket weave.
Tears
Tears
probably
coming
start
out her
jacking out
eyes.
to the episode and shit. Keep
Hey.
replaying your parts.
As
Hitting that 15-second button.
right. The 15 seconds back.
Hit the 15
Let you
seconds
talk a little bit. 15 seconds back.
You so
I got something for her.
Little
Hey.
mouth. Let's go.
Hey, as long as they keep following,
Oh my gosh.
I'll take one for the team, baby.
Oh,
Hit
man.
15 seconds on that.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right, y'all. This NSA is brought to you by moi, Miss Nessa. And I know my last few ones, I haven't been having titles for them, but this one, I found a title, and it's Fuck Boys R Us.
Fuck Boys R Us.
Yep.
Shout outs to Toys R Us for going bankrupt.
Damn.
Aw, bankrupt.
I don't want
I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Toys R Us bankrupt. They're done.
Damn. So
The
like
internet.
even
The internet
ooh.
happened.
So even like Babies R Us
Amazon.
and stuff like
Amazon happened.
like even Babies R Us and all that too, like everything, or is it just?
I
Toys
think
R
it's
Us?
just Toys R Us right now. I wouldn't be
That
surprised
sucks,
Baby
man.
R Us is next. Nigga, stores are gonna be gone. They're gonna be replaced by Amazon,
Yeah.
and
That's
everybody's
true.
gonna be delivering for them.
Right.
That
The
is
fuck?
true.
Just put your dogs away, damn it.
Damn.
You expecting the package?
I was just at Toys R Us too, man. Ghost Town. So it makes sense.
Yep.
That's crazy. How
If the
the
police
world
is
has
looking for you,
changed.
you should hide out at Toys R Us.
Nigga, hide out at
They'll never look there.
had at a Toys R Us during the zombie apocalypse or some
Oh
shit.
my gosh, I don't even want to think about no apocalypses. He all hang out there. You're like, fuck, try to hide his shit, and then you're like, well, shit, where the fuck? But there's no food there.
There's video games
You just gonna starve to death playing video games.
and candy.
Hey, could you imagine trying to hide
I
from
ain't gonna
Chucky
have no
in
teeth,
a
but I'll
Toys
be
R
alive.
Us?
Hide from Chucky. That'll be difficult as fuck.
Side note.
Especially if it's the toys out.
Yeah.
Don't go through that out. Hi, I'm
Oh,
Chucky.
fuck no.
I'm kicking
guys-
every last one of y'all little niggas.
They all right.
All y'all
they,
niggas.
They all getting thrown the fuck out and put in a pile.
Do you guys
set on
follow
fire.
Sita on Snapchat?
No, I don't
Side
follow
note.
Sita.
So I was looking at her photo. She took a picture of her son with all his toys, and it was a bunch. And then there was a good guys one, and I was just like, what
That's
the
tight.
fuck? So I texted her. I was like, nah. I was like, aw, Chucky. And she was just like, yeah, oh my gosh. So she sent me a separate video, and he was bawling, crying, because like, open your Chucky gift or your good guys gift. And then he was like, no. I'll show you the video later. No.
I gotta
Cry. And then they're like putting it in his face. He's like, no. And they're like, and someone's like, it's not the doll. Just open. He's like, no. And then finally they open it for him, and he's like, no. Oh. Well, I didn't know, because it was just like a figurine with all the different heads, like from the last one, the cult. You know how it had like the messed up one and all that stuff. So it was a little figurine of it. But he thought it was an actual doll, and he was bawling. I'll show you later. I was dying
Chucky's still
laughing.
terrorizing little kids,
Right?
homie. He terrorized the fuck out of me. And that movie was made in the late 80s.
My sister said her roommate, because she's in the military, her roommate has a Chucky doll, and every time she comes in the room, it's either like on the chair or it's on the bed. It's all in different things.
Just place it
That
every
motherfucker, yeah.
place it in
Whoever
different
got
areas.
the dog doing that shit on purpose, nigga.
If they make them Tales of the Hood, little
Oh,
penny looking motherfucking
hell
dolls.
no.
Hey, I'm gonna be like Killing. How he collecting all these figures? I'm gonna have all them.
Oh,
Hell no, I'm never going to your
would
place.
never
Hey, come
go to
through,
your
man.
Hell
You
no.
can sit in the rocking chair that
Nigga
I'm
have the fucking motherfucker have the mural and shit.
No
And I see
way.
one white silhouette, I'm getting the fuck out.
I do that shit on purpose. Every time somebody come visit me, one silhouette will pop up.
Hell
I
no.
paint it in and shit.
Oh,
and I have a rocking chair. I be like, hey, come in, man. Sit in the rocking chair and shit.
Have a seat.
Put a little
Get,
machine.
get a
Put
doll and sit in my
put a-
lap.
put
Like,
a-
what's good? What y'all doing today?
Put a little machine underneath the rocking chair and
So
make it
it
look
rock
like it's
by
rocking by itself.
Hey, I'm gonna
Oh,
go to the
hell
bathroom. I'll be
no.
right back. Have it like control it on the app and
Yeah.
shit. Turn that shit on.
Fuck
Hey, man,
that.
right? I'll be in the bathroom. You hear a nigga be like, hey man, I'm about to get up out of here.
No, you don't hear that. You just hear the door slam.
And-
the car drive off.
Call
And
him
the-
like, where you go?
And the actual music playing with them.
See, I ain't gonna do all that. I ain't gonna, see, I done went extra, but I'm not gonna take that extra step.
If I hear a little
I come
thing,
out the bathroom, them
if
motherfuckers all be standing in line.
I hear
and
little
Hell
footsteps,
no.
hear little
Like-
footsteps like,
hey, I stay in the
Hey.
bathroom and call somebody.
hey, here.
Hey, hello, police. I tell the police like
Because that's how the motherfucker sounded, right? They was like, nigga, fuck that.
Them niggas can clear a bush.
Nigga sounded like,
He
yeah,
went
hell
into the White
yeah.
House, he cleared that whole bush.
cleared the
That
whole
nigga got
bush.
hops, dude.
I'm like,
Stupid.
that nigga's African.
I hate you.
That nigga's
I hate
100% human.
you. I hate you.
That nigga's original man.
You stupid. Original man.
That is an original man right
Oh,
there.
No.
All right, we get off track,
I
but
call Nessa. Hey, what you doing right now? You trying to go get some food?
You try to get some food because you know my ass will be like, yeah, for sure, let's go.
like that nigga,
Fuck
fuck this, I'm
that.
gonna burn this house.
Right?
We gonna leave. We gonna be at the taco shop. I'm gonna get a phone call.
Hey man, your house on fire. Oh shit, I left something in the oven.
Right. Oh, really?
I left the gas tank in the oven. Go figure.
Right.
I'll be
Hang up.
like, you sure you want to stay here? Like, don't you want me to take you? Like,
Yeah,
what?
you be like, oh my gosh, should I take you back? No, no, not
But
yet.
your house is on fire.
Little-
the
little
roof is
niggas
on
will follow
fire.
You burned down my house.
Oh,
Right,
hell
motherfucker be in
no.
your car.
Hell no.
I know what you remember.
Hell
Remember,
no,
remember,
hell
remember the
no.
little motherfuckers chilling in the limousine like. And then dude picked up the dog. He was like, "Who the fuck put? Hey, driver, pull over!"
Right. He's a fucking back
Nothing
seat.
came into your car, sir. Oh shit! Why are you
That's
talking
funny
scary
shit,
shit? That's tight
right?
though.
This shit was funny.
Oh god.
Especially the scenario I put together. Shit, that would be funny to me.
To you, hell
Y'all be
no.
like, hell no, them voodoo dolls or whatever
Nope.
the things is.
Nah, I'm
Fuck
cool.
around if you want to.
She, you know what's funny? To me, that lady in the rocking chair is like the Dead Silence lady, but the black version. She did it first. She had all the dolls first.
Man,
Hell
you
no.
know, the homie fucked up when he hit that flagpole and the nose started to bleed.
Ugh.
I was like, "You're gonna die."
Right. right.
Nigga, you had all that chance to walk out the place.
No bueno, man.
Nothing
That
is.
makes me want to watch it while I'm at work tonight.
Oh yeah, go ahead and do that.
I ain't gonna walk not a fucking step
Right.
outside of where I'ma
Let's see
stay
how
where
that
the
works
fuck I'm
out for
standing.
you. Let's
Because
see
if
how
I'm
that
walking through
work
them
out for
halls
you.
in the middle of the morning,
Yo, fuck
and I hear
that. Dude,
Motherfuckers
like
running around.
that should be a trip because I remember doing night auditing for the same hotel.
Don't tell me no scary shit, man.
No. I'm just
Do
no.
it,
I don't have any scary
do
stories,
it.
but I
Good,
just
that's
know.
good, that's good.
I know I'm like Bushwick Bill. My mind's playing tricks on me. You know how you have to slide in all the shit underneath the for people to check out.
Yep.
And I just be doing it real quick. I'm like,
Yeah.
go downstairs. Fuck that. Let me get in the front at
Right.
least. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, man. Fuck that.
He said, "Don't tell me."
Oh, I
no
thought you about to
shit."
care. I thought you about to have a story like, yeah, I was over here and then I heard something and it was
And
like
they
this little
slipped it
dog.
back
It was
with the
sitting in the
doll
lobby
sitting
with
on
me and
it.
shit. Like,
I mean, I heard couples fucking. I mean, that's pretty much
Me
it.
too. All right, yeah, all right. Then.
I heard couples getting it in. I'm
Walking
like,
through
"All
there.
right, what's up, dog?"
I stopped for a minute, like,
You
smack,
fucking creeper.
smack her ass.
You all whispered into the door.
Smack her ass. Who was that?
Walk away like nothing.
He look under the door. He see a shadow go by.
Nigga, dip out.
I'll break down the stairs and shit. Imagine if I fuck up and roll down the stairs. Oh shit! Motherfucker come out of his room. That's your ass get. Now I quit a job right before this job because I thought the shit was honey, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working overnight. I ain't play that.
Yeah.
Hell to the no.
Turnover rate. Man, I heard about some shit like that too. Like niggas turnover rate dumb high. Like doing like night audit or overnight work for like the grant. Fuck that.
And I think Hotel Del Coronado
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, they're taunted.
They always hiring for overnight. I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
I'm cool.
I don't see nothing. I don't care. I don't care if it's. I don't care.
I just hate.
Even if it's like $100 a night. I mean, like, sorry, an hour.
An hour. Yeah, I might
Yeah,
be
that
up in there.
shit. That shit would just trip me out because sometimes motherfuckers be talking like, do you think you're talking to a regular person?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah, man, his name was Jim Clancy. He was a cool guy, man. I was looking for him. I couldn't check him in, but for some reason he just chilled at the lobby all night. He's like, Jim Clancy died like 5 years ago. The fuck?
Right. Or
Hell
point to
no.
a picture from 1930 and the motherfucker
Yeah,
in the picture
like-
or something. Like, I quit.
I quit.
I ain't coming back, dog.
Nigga, I'm like, after that, I'll be like, what's the meaning of life?
I know, right?
What's the meaning of life, nigga? I'll be off the grid. I'll be off the grid. See some shit like that?
Hell
I'm
no.
off the fucking grid. Fuck this.
This fool died
I'm sorry,
5
that's
years
it.
ago.
We fucking on a
It's
tangent.
okay.
But it's a 2017 tangent.
It is.
It's the last episode of
It
2017.
is. All right, fuck boys are us. Okay.
Fuck boys or us.
Yes. So, I was having a conversation with my girl yesterday, and I just figure boys will be boys, and I just come to the conclusion that most men don't want to be fucking happy. Like, I'm actually almost convinced that most men do not want to be happy. So, story time.
Chin rubbing moment.
So,
Right.
I've talked about Miss Gina a few episodes, and this is an update to an update, right? So, Gina, for those of you that need a quick reminder, she was the one that was dealing with a dude, and then he ended up going back to his ex, toxic relationship, or whatever, right? So, Gina's scrolling through her timeline on Facebook, right? And she stumbles across a post that states that old dude, I don't think we gave him a name, but old dude proposed to his ex. So, mind you, this was on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, right? So remember, not too long before that, he was about to head out to go see her. And he hit her up like, yo, come down to LA. Remember, he wanted her to come down and smash one more time, right? And then he was going to go to his toxic ex situation, and she was supposed to move out here at the end of this month, which now apparently she is down here, and he proposed to her.
Wait, what?
Okay. Do you remember who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
Okay. So remember, he was dealing with my girl Gina
Yeah.
since February.
Yep.
Then out of nowhere in October, he springs the news on her like, hey, I'm going to try to work things out with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, like I said, they had a toxic relationship. They don't have kids together, but she was help raising his child. She has a child on her own, and he has a child from someone else too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then they're supposed to work things out. He was going to move her down here this month, and they're supposed to try it out again, right? Apparently, I don't see how this happened, but some shit must have went right if he proposed, I would assume, right? But it doesn't make any sense because all the shit that he was talking about her, that's not something that should happen overnight. Like getting married is not going to fix it. I don't think marriage is not the answer. Having a baby is even worse. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just really disgusted at it. But anyway, so I just don't get how, like, you could have a good girl in front of you, but yet you sabotage what could be or the potential. And I know I keep talking about this and I sound like a fucking a broken record, but I just don't get it, and it hurts my mind, and I know I shouldn't think about it, but I guess I can relate in a certain sense.
You definitely can.
Yeah, so it that's why I'm so passionate, and it fucking bothers me when I see this happen. It's like you'd rather take a girl that's nagging and just pass it as, okay, well, that's normal. That's normal what females do, instead of and you confuse it with those that have a woman that is really good to you, that's like, that may be pleading for you to just want her like she wants you. You know what I mean? It's like I don't fucking get that. I feel like it's just pure selfishness. Like, you're selfish because you know that you have a good girl, but it's like, what, you'd rather go back. I feel like, okay, how was I explaining this to her? I feel like it's insanity. It's pure insanity, right? Because he's trying to work things out, but he's going backwards. And it's not going to make the situation better. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I think he's he's sticking to his known hell and scared to check on his unknown heavens, and I think that's what a lot of guys go through, because they feel that they spent a lot of time and invested a lot of time in a particular person, and they believe that it can work out. But you know me now. Like, I'm if shit's not working out, I'm a dead it. You know what I mean? Or, if things are just not clicking right, it's okay to hit the restart, but they're both young. They could just, live life. I mean, it's a whole life ahead of them. And I just feel like maybe he's just wasting his time and his energy, because now you try and put marriage and kids into the mix. It's only going to make it a lot worse, because the shit don't work out. Then you got alimony, child support. Then you got a human hanging on the balance, an innocent human being. And then you get, an angry mom, a bitter dad. Is, if it doesn't work out. But if it works out in their favor, I wish them all the luck. But personally, I just say, if it's dead, it's not there anymore. It's just not there anymore. Don't even force it.
From my experiences and my friends and people I was talking to about relationships, or even the stuff I see on TV, like, everybody goes through some crazy shit. Everybody's a little crazy when it comes to relationships, because there's people that would stay or try to make something work that isn't going to work. And from the outside looking in, you can see it clearly. But when you're in it, like, you really want it to work so bad, and then you look at the good versus the bad, and even though the bad outweighs it, some people really try, like, well, maybe this is something I need to push through and all that. Because, like, from a guy's perspective, I've seen girls do that same thing where they would shoot me down for a dude that ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, that's not logical. You know what I'm saying? But I've also been in that position where I tried to make something that wasn't working work by trying to make a child. Exactly what you just said. So I'm like, for me, it's more of a, understanding of both sides, and I can't be judgmental on either one. I would just tell him, like, you know, to step back and not do what he's trying to do right now, unless he knows for sure that's what he's going to do. Because this shit don't sound like it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And I'm not there. I'm not him. I'm not, you know, I'm not her, whatever. But from the outside, it don't sound like it's gonna work. Maybe he should chill for a minute, not talk to nobody.
What I said, I dare him. I said I triple dog dare him to hit her up after this, like, cause I feel like he's still gonna hit her up.
He probably will.
I fucking dare his ass too.
Well, I mean, but look, he was open with her to tell her about it, even though he did some stuff that I don't agree with. I mean, what if he comes back and admits he fucked up and because you know, when you're in that position, you're not in your right mind. So when he gathers his right mind, you dare him to go back and try to go with something that's good when he finally realizes it on his own.
Yep. Because he already knew what he was getting himself into. Now I could see if he tried it out and he was open with it and was just like, okay, things didn't work out. You know, if you're willing to have me, like, can we see what's up? Because it didn't work out and I liked what we had. And if she chose to, like, you know, if her heart was where it was at prior to that, or still is, you know, then I could see. But the fact that he took it a step further and proposed to her, like, that shit is not an overnight thing. In order to propose to somebody, it should have been, like, premeditated. You know what I mean? So
I'm pretty sure it was premeditated.
That's what I'm saying. So if you had the thought, like, okay, I want to marry this girl, hopefully it will work out, and it doesn't, it's like, oh, so now it didn't, now you want to settle, like, you know, now you want to backtrack. No,
it's kind of like this, being the cleanup person, you know. Guess who's being the cleanup man right now? Jermaine Dupri. Janet Jackson, you know, her billionaire husband didn't work out, got a divorce, and I think rumor has it that she's back with JD. And she got a kid with the billionaire dude. So can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
Oh, I can imagine that.
Can you imagine?
You know, like that high school girl you wanted to talk to. She's like, "Oh, you too nice."
No. You guys were together, right? You guys were together. It didn't work out. She gets married to a fucking billionaire. It's kind of like, in a sense, kind of like stunning on you. Like, nigga, I upgraded, got a baby. Shit didn't work out. Can I come back with a kid that's not yours? Think about that.
Oh, I thought about it.
Woo, boy.
I thought about it.
Woo, boy.
like even my
yeah,
scenario,
I'll take,
even if I alter it to where you do talk to that person and she you know, shit don't work out, she go get somebody that, you know, not you at all. Shit don't work out after she done had a kid and shit, try to come back and like, nah, fuck out of here.
I ain't trying to play cleanup. A lot of niggas are waking up now, ladies. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot keep shunning niggas in your prime. Then when you get past your prime, thinking that nigga's gonna stick around and still pick up the pieces. Shit has changed. Niggas got smarter. They got more hip to the game.
Don't get offended either, because my brother almost got chastised on Facebook for saying something like, if a girl like tries to come back and has a kid, it's a deal breaker for him. And my other women was like, "Don't be like that," and I'm like, "Fuck you," and all that shit you talking about. Don't be going.
He's going his own way.
Yeah.
That's his option. He has the option of doing it, so that's not for him. That's not the deal on him. And you gotta understand, like, maybe he wants to start a whole family with himself. Some men are fine with women who have children, but not the fact that we had history. Then you go in and have a child, they come back to me.
That's what happened. That's what happened. Oh, never mind.
Wait, but do you guys know the full? But do you guys know the full story? Like, what if they was already still like talking, and that's why things didn't work out, because they were already like reuniting like a flame. Like, it wasn't just her coming like, oh, shit didn't work out, now let me go back to you. Like, how do you guys know that for a fact? Like, is that what's said? Because I didn't even know about that.
It's not what it said, but on face value, that's what it seems like. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like. If you don't know the ins and outs, but from the outside looking in, from public perception, that's what it looks like.
What?
Because I have an experience. I've experienced that being with somebody doesn't work out, but we're still cool, and there's still a chance of things, trying to work things out. The other person gets married and has a kid, and then I get a phone call she's trying to get back and stuff. This
I believe it.
This old stuff.
No, I believe that
yeah.
happened, and that sounds like it, but like we don't know the full story because they could have been cool that whole time, and he would still been like, what if he was just like, I know I can make you happy, like you're not happy, like why are you in this, kind of in her head, and then she falls back, but it's not like she's like, okay, things didn't work out, haha, I'm happy, then things didn't work out, okay, now let me go back with you.
All of that you just said is in my experience.
Yeah, but I'm saying
two
based
kids
off
and tried to like.
But I'm just saying. I'm saying from my face value,
Yeah.
because I haven't experienced that. I don't.
Yeah.
I have limited experience, but that's. I'm just. I'm just saying it for face value. That's how most niggas outside be like, fuck that bitch.
I didn't say that.
No. But Jermaine Dupri is smart because look, she's getting half of a billionaire's fucking money.
Yeah.
He's taking that child and her in.
Oh
yeah.
They said.
But if it was just like regular people, you get the fuck out of my DMs with that bullshit.
I feel like the only way it could work is if they both did that shit. They both broke off and did.
Yeah, that's an even playing field. But if it's not, like.
Cause that was my whole thing. I'm like, this shit ain't fair.
You be feeling.
I ain't had no kids yet.
Nigga be feeling like Rodney. Nigga be just like Rodney off of Baby Boy. Man. He see that little kid, he like, man, fuck you. You ain't my son. He thought he had the rights to Yvette. You know what I mean? And he gets locked up, and Yvette ended up having the baby with Jody.
Daddy. Man, fuck your punk ass daddy.
And that's how niggas will feel.
I don't know. I just feel like
and hold on. And then also let's bring that the fact that she could just be flip flopping from nigga to nigga. She might be like, but I still have feelings because he's the father of my child. That nigga still puts himself at risk of getting hurt too.
Yep.
That's another thing.
That whole stigma thing.
And that's why I feel that men are getting smarter these days. Women, you can't keep using those old tricks before. Niggas are trying to like leverage themselves when it comes to starting family and investing themselves in the person.
You know why men are getting smarter these days, Marco?
What's up?
Because females is acting like niggas and niggas is acting
like
bitches.
Because your coochie fell off.
That's so stupid.
Some of y'all act like bitches.
Nah, I just feel like dudes feel like it's easier to stay with those type of people because at the end of the day they can throw them away. Like they're disposable. But if you find someone who is considered or deemed perfect in your eyes, because like I said with her, she just bought her own house, built it from the ground up. She's about to move there
with her bare hands.
Shut the fuck up. With her own money, so damn near, because her hard labor from work.
Man, I know them hands will be rough.
Hey.
Whatever. And she about to pay off her car this month. Like she has all her shit together. So though it seems intimidating to most guys who don't have their shit together or don't feel up to par, they'll look at her as perfect. So it's like, if I fuck that shit up, I'm gonna regret it the rest of my life. Now, if you with a bitch that don't got shit going for herself, if shit don't work out, it's kind of like, oh well, she wasn't shit either. And that's how I feel like most guys, like they don't want to be happy because they're scared of what could be. Like if they fuck shit up, then they'll regret it the rest of their life.
I mean, I ain't been there, but I can see where you talking about.
Yeah.
But I have let someone perfect go. It was like, I know I'm gonna regret the shit, but it's just not where I'm at.
It's timing.
Yeah, like you
timing, and then also if the
you like what you like,
and if the woman's patient enough to deal with your struggles too, you know what I mean? Like, personally, I've been going through some stuff like that. Knowing that I have a good thing, but at the same time, I have my struggles. Not just to being up to par with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, okay, I need to get my shit together. And I know sometimes some women, they work differently. Some women's like, nah, nigga, you got to get your shit together. Some women's like, nah, I'll ride with you and I'll help pick you up and build you up with you. You know what I mean? And it's hard for men to differentiate each one because niggas already thinking about, like, you know, it goes back to that Insecure episode. Dudes want to be the sole provider. Dudes want to be the alpha male. I mean, in most aspects of at least be the provider financially of the place. Yeah. Be the breadwinner.
Yeah, and I agree, but I feel like you can't even say that because you're comparing apples to bananas because you're saying that there's females that are like writing you like you got to do this, you got to be this, you got to be that. But then when you do have the ones that say I really fuck with you right now in the state that you are in right now, I still fuck with you and are not complaining that you're not where you feel that you're supposed to be, then it's genuine. Like, I'm sorry. What?
All I was gonna say is like,
but the one thing
even
I would say,
if a woman has the complete package as far as everything as a person and stuff, and has her own house and all that shit. If the dude don't like her, he just don't like her like enough. If you don't like her enough, he just don't like her enough. He basically just likes that other woman more.
No, but I'm speaking about what Marco's talking about. How he's saying like some females, they're just like, you know, I mean, all in all, most men are perceived to be the breadwinner because is that what society says, or is that how you feel personally? You know what I mean?
I would say that how society says, and then also
because society trained us to think that way.
But I think sometimes relationship dynamics work out that way. I think, honestly, in primal instincts, I think men feel better, more masculine when they're the breadwinner of the family. Doesn't mean that the woman can't provide and be, you know, on her own and be independent. Like, no problem with that. But as long as the guy could at least hold his weight. Because think about it like this. You got to think of it as a, you know, I hate to say it, but like an exit strategy. Shit don't work out. You know, she getting half of your shit? Are you guys leaving peacefully? Can you make that transition? Can you hurry up and get it bounced? Like, if you need to leave the house, could you, like, go to an apartment and get a new place to rent like that? Or do you have to move back into your mom's house? Or do you have to stay at the homie's couch for a while? You know what I mean? Like, that, you know, sometimes guys think about exit strategy as well. Maybe I do.
I mean, it makes sense because we naturally think that way, like how y'all naturally look for men that make you feel secure and safe and protected. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that would fall in the place of us providing. So that, you know, that makes sense.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like if a woman's fucking with you as is, and, you know, just imagine how it's going to be when you get to your potential, like where you feel like you'll be. Because I feel like some people, it's like, okay, so guys do one or two things. Either they'll say, okay, I got a good woman in front of me, but I'm just going to fuck it off. I'm going to regret it later, but whatever. Fuck it. I fucked up. Or they'll be like, okay, I see a good thing in front of me. Let me, you know, let's do this. Let's try this out. But then they're still, it's like, it's not like it's like they're not really in a relationship, if that makes sense. Because it's like she's still having to, sorry, I don't know. You guys could chime in really quick.
Well, I was going to say, she can say she fucks with the guy just as he is, but, like, who's to say, like, she doesn't realize later, like, oh, wait, this is starting to become a thing, like, for me or for her personally, that she really doesn't.
I will say it's another thing that guys are probably pensive about, you know, jumping into a good thing, even though the girl fucks with him completely from the stages that where he is now, is the fact that people are fickle. In one moment she may love you, then the next maybe a year or so things ain't really working out. She probably loses patience. Then she start to ride you. Then she becomes the woman that he thinks that every woman is usually like anyway.
The shit he was scared of from the beginning.
Yeah, the type of woman that you're scared of from the beginning.
But that's not fair to those of us that aren't like that.
I know it's not fair, but in human error, we're fickle at nature. you can't deny like humans aren't just gonna stick to one monolithic thought throughout the rest of their lives.
But I feel like it's like you're sabotaging it from the beginning then, because you're already thinking about your past and your insecurities based off of your past. So you don't want it to affect you in your future. So you're being very careful, so to speak. And then what happens, you end up sabotaging. And then that's why that happens, because she ends up resenting you, because she's just like, I've been fucking with you and I was cool with it. But now you guys end up falling apart instead of getting together.
What if it's not based off his past, but he sees that there's a possibility that can go down that road and jumps in anyway, and then with not saying like he's walking in like, oh, this is gonna be some bullshit, but he's like, man,
he's gonna try it out,
genuinely, open-heartedly, and it falls back into what he was thinking that it
that's
would
because he's spoken into existence. That's how the universe works. That is, if you go into a situation,
because if you walk in open-heartedly, you let that shit go.
Yes, but then obviously you didn't let that shit go.
You
didn't let that shit go.
Nah, it's not true.
Yes, it is true.
Nah, it's not true.
It is true. Because most guys, they get in.
Because when you say it in, you speaking into existence, you really feel it in your heart. But if you're if you're open-hearted about walking into something and trying it out, it's not in your heart no more. Like,
then you weren't open. It wasn't open-hearted then.
But what if it was?
But it wasn't.
So you're telling me
the
only way shit would go wrong is if they walk in with thinking that?
Yes. Because that's how you sabotage. That's how you sabotage it.
Stuff goes wrong regardless.
Yeah, well, of course. But if I go, okay, I've been fucked over in my past, this A, B, C, D, or whatever, and then I get into a new relationship, yes, that may happen. But if you're sitting there like, okay, well, this might happen because this just happened. I remember that feeling. I don't like that feeling. You're going to keep that inside of you because of your insecurities. So you're going to fuck up your relationship.
Okay, so what do you say for the ones that don't have that past, don't think like that, they just walk into it open-heartedly and don't even have that thought, and then it happens?
Well, then it fucking happens. I'm talking about those that actually know when they come into a relationship.
It just fucking happens, huh?
It does happen. Because
shit.
I'm speaking off of what I've been into with a guy, and they're just like, oh, I was fucked over in the past. I can't get into anything serious right now because I was burnt from, my last few exes. Okay. So you want to play the careful role with me, but you're doing everything that people in a relationship do, but you don't want to carry that title because you feel like that's gonna it might fuck up.
Because sometimes I'll say from personal experience that expectations changes. Once that title comes in, you know what also comes with it. When people are in situationships, it's a lot more fun because there's no expectations. When there's no expectations, I can hit her up on a date. Hey, let's go here. I don't have to check in. I don't have to, whatever, like I'm still doing my own thing. She's doing her own thing. When we get together, it's like escapism. Now, when it's a relationship, there's new rules are applied. New non-written rules are applied as far as checking on each other. I mean, I know some women hate that, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? See how they're doing, actually having some real deep conversations, or planning out the future when you only just thinking about the
You're
present.
being short term as opposed to, and then she's long term.
And she's being long term, and I'm like, okay, you want to be long term. That's fine. That's But for me, like I always say, that how can I plan long term if I don't feel secure within myself as a man who could provide and who could do all these things? Because I'm thinking about the shit that may or may not hit us. It's not the known unknowns as far as like pregnancy, when that's gonna happen, marriage and all that shit. It's the unknown unknowns. Like if you get a fucking flat tire, if I get in an accident, if I have to have insurance, if I get hurt at work, how can I get like a whole bunch of like other shit that you don't think that's gonna happen can happen, and it could change the whole morale and complexity of a relationship. That's what I believe that most men think about. They don't think about I mean, yeah, the marriage, the stuff like that, but we think about the unknown, scary shit.
But why?
Because that's how we operate.
So it's in your guys' DNA because you guys are men. I'm not being
yeah.
smart. I'm not being sarcastic. I really want to know.
And that's why we're here. We're here to to understand and grasp each other's concepts. You know, that's the point of it. And I hope the listeners are engaged right now, because I know a lot of people, a lot of millennials right now always going through these relationships.
Because I feel like, okay, if you're at a certain age, yes, maybe if you're in your like early 20s, it's a little bit different mindset that you would be. But if you're already in your 30s and you're with someone that's roughly around your age, if not older, it's like I would feel that you would have to start thinking long term. Like,
it's in the back of our minds because we don't have a timer. You know
well, yeah, but then it's like, okay, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Like, I don't feel like that's...
Yeah, but niggas will do that in their 40s.
That's the thing.
But that's long term. That's you thinking long term.
The thing about men can still like produce kids.
Dating somebody when they consider marrying them in their 40s. Like, even as far as that, like, if they still feel like they want to have fun or not be tied down, that's usually still in their 30s.
Yeah, but why would you be in a relationship if you don't want to be tied down? I'm
maybe
confused.
because maybe it's just the comfort of being in a relationship.
So it's not even being a relationship; it's the companionship.
Yeah, it's the companionship.
So it's basically the guy is confused because he likes the companionship.
No, see, now you're just bouncing around. Like, I gave you the answer before about him.
Who? I'm not even talking about a specific person. I'm bouncing off of what you guys are saying. So I'm talking about the now. Whatever you guys are speaking on, I'm talking about that.
Okay, so right now we are talking about the quote-unquote imaginary him that's in a relationship but doesn't want to be in a relationship, or what?
No, we're
that
talking...
he's kind of like tiptoeing. He's in a relationship. He's giving it a try, but he's been burnt before, so he still has his guard up. You know that, and that comes with,
or he's not in a relationship and they do relationship things, because I heard that too.
Well, we were talking about that, but then he started talking about that, so I started talking about that. So we're basically
basically careful, slow-paced relationships or full throttle situationships. They're basically the same thing
without the title, pretty much.
But the slow-paced relationship is with the title, but you're moving carefully. The situationship, the full throttle situationship, is basically you're moving full throttle. You damn near coupled up and shit. You know, you calling each other's parents mom and pa-in-law and shit like that. But no title.
Yeah, y'all still not official.
But no title. You know what I mean? So
see, that one makes more sense than the one in a relationship, tiptoeing around in the relationship, because like, to me that doesn't really make sense, because he's in the relationship. He's giving it a chance, even with his past.
And if he's tiptoeing around it, you gotta let him come around.
Yeah, he's trying.
Even though y'all want him to come full.
It's
throttle.
like saying I'm getting in the pool, but I'm gonna walk down the stairs.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he's like, yeah, basically, I'm putting my toe in this pool. I'm in the 3 feet. I will venture myself to the 12 feet side eventually. But I think with y'all guys, the women are already at the deep end, like, baby, come over here. And this nigga like, oh, wait a minute, damn it. Let me get adjusted to this temperature right now. Before I go deeper.
I know that, you know, obviously we think differently, but for like with women, I feel like when we fuck with somebody and we really like somebody, we could tell within a few months of fucking with each other. Whereas guys, they could go a year or so and they're just like, no, we just having fun.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell women are more prone to love fearlessly more than men.
Yeah.
Like dead ass. Like,
yeah, it's natural for y'all.
Y'all are nurturers by nature.
Cause I done heard girls, you know, they have a fucked up past. I ain't dating no niggas right now. I'm doing single. The next, a month later, they got another nigga.
On Instagram.
True. Yeah.
Relationship goals. #
Naturally wants a relationship, regardless of what you say, right? You know.
Yeah.
Even with the past, like us guys,
y'all are confusing.
We're not so gun ho in getting a relationship like that.
Yeah.
Because we still have that side that wants to be single and live that bachelor life too, though. So
that's a little.
So is that why they tiptoe? Like, would you say?
Well, no, we speaking on like if the relationships in the past didn't work out and stuff, and
yeah,
they'll feel, they might feel like shit. Just motherfuckers just want to be single.
Like he flinches a little bit, when
Yeah.
it comes to certain dates. Like, shit, do I got enough money to pay for it? Are we gonna half it? You know what I mean? Like, it just comes down to. I'm not saying like providing materialistically, but I feel in today's society, men will feel more better if they know they look at their bank account and it's like, okay, we could go on a vacation, we could do this, we could do that. There's no romance without finance. Not people don't like that saying, but it's true. Like, I mean, there are probably free dates. You can walk around the park and all this stuff.
So let me ask you this: would you think it's better for those guys that are really gung ho about like, I need to have my shit together before I can really provide and actually enjoy the relationship that I'm in, to wait to get into a relationship while they're getting their shit done, or because they don't want to feel like they'll be distracted, or go ahead and, like you said, walk down the stairs in the pool? And what do you suggest for those that are in that situation? Men.
Get your personal shit together. Get yourself together. That's
before
it.
getting into that relationship.
Well,
even though even if you know like she's a good girl, and you're probably gonna take you a good minute to find you another chick like that.
If you think about it, that's like to jump into something when you're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna work out. When a person is not in the right mindset, doesn't have their shit together, and they're not ready. You know what I'm saying? Even if that other person looks ready and is ready, to them, they're like, well, me, I'm not ready right now.
So it's best that they step back and not get into it, like just for their sanity. Would you say?
I'll just say for the sake of
both of y'all,
like a peace of mind, they don't have to think about like, you could really just focus on you. But does that guarantee that in the future you're gonna have successful relationships once you get your shit together? No. It's no guarantees.
Well, that's just chalked up to like,
yeah, that's fate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But as a man going into a relationship, he will go into a relationship a lot more confidently than where he is now.
I have a question for you, Nessa. Now, if the guy is doing relationship things with you and only fucking with you, but y'all don't have a title, is that an issue?
Eventually, yes. Not in the beginning.
How so? Or why, should I say?
Why is that an issue? Because it's like, so what is it that's keeping you from that transition? Like, that's what I want to know.
Let's say what I'm saying right now. He's working on himself, slowly building himself up, and you're there too. What would you say to that?
Wait, what?
You know how I said right now, like, a person that doesn't want to jump into a relationship, a guy, he needs to work on himself.
Yeah.
So those halfway relationships where he's not fucking around, he's only fucking with you, he's just not ready to make it serious yet. What if he's working on himself but still wants you when he's ready? Because he's afraid that you're going to walk away.
But say that. That's all I ask is communication is so fucking key. So most guys, they don't say that. They keep using their past as the reason why they won't make that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm speaking on my situation. In the beginning, we were just fucking around just to fuck around. A couple months later, he tells me that he feels a way about me. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I thought we were just fucking. Okay, let me see. Do I like you? And then I'm like, okay, I kind of like him. So that's what it was. And then when I asked a question more months down the line, that was the excuse. Like, I been burnt in my relationship and it's really hard for me to get into a relationship right now. I'm not ready to commit based off of that. Okay, cool. A year goes by. Like, when is it okay to be like, okay, what the fuck you want me to do? Because I really want to be in a relationship. Yeah, it's cool. You're not fucking with nobody. I'm not fucking with nobody. But if I want to start building and start thinking long term, because like we said, most females do think long term. I can't do that with you if we don't even have that relationship, because I would look stupid if one day you decide, okay, I don't want to do this no more.
So, okay, wait. So you said y'all don't have that relationship?
We're not in a relationship.
Okay, but
that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, but what about how y'all are together? Do y'all have that type of relationship where it can be a relationship?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, we told you to talk to him before, right?
Yeah.
And like, I forget what you said though about the conversation. that eventually ends up with how you want to do it. Like if you bounce, you bounce.
Oh yeah,
because there's no time limit on when a dude works on himself.
of course.
You know,
But that's what I'm saying. That's all I like.
The thing
is, it's communication. Just tell me that. That's the reason why, is because I'm working on myself. And as much as I really fuck with you, I don't want you to be a distraction, because that's technically what it is. And I was like, I will be okay with. That's all I wanted to hear.
You know what a man's greatest fear is? Well,
what?
Not greatest, but one of their fears when they're talking to a girl and they're halfway with her, that, you know, there's situations that, well, I only can say it for myself. There's situations I've been in where a girl is perfect and I like her, but not enough to go to that step.
That's what I feel. Like, I feel like you're cool with me to fuck with me. Like, you're like, you fuck with me, but not enough to be with me.
And the fear comes in is, I don't want to waste her time because this feels good. I want to keep going. It's just my feelings haven't went up more yet.
The feelings hasn't blossomed just yet. A feeling is there. Don't get it twisted. The feeling is there, but it just hasn't matured enough to a point where he's, you know, want to take that next step with you.
Yeah, where he said, where he can say like, okay, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, I think the reason why some guys tiptoe in relationships when
that
a
are
woman's
in relationships?
that are in relationships and, you know, still being careful, because he knows that he has a good thing and he knows that he don't want to fuck it up. So it's kind of like, I'm going to give her the benefit of a doubt. If she says who she says she is, why not give her a chance? Now, women, this is the part where you have to learn how to be patient, because the shit may take time. And even, you know, personally, I let my lady know if it's taking too long, I can't be mad at her if she decides to leave.
Yeah.
I cannot. She has her life to live. And it'll be selfish as fuck of me to tell her to stay and deal with me, you know, while she know that she, you know, she could easily find a man who will be absolutely bonkers about her, you know. So that's the part, that's the level of maturity I'm at now. Because I know, like, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm going to give it a chance. As long as I give it a chance, that means a lot.
Right.
Because I could easily said, nah, I'm good. It was fun while it lasted. And I have done that. You know, like, not saying I'm hot shit, but like a nigga couldn't have no. I'm just saying, like, I couldn't even, like, damn near couldn't go a whole year without being single. I was planning on going 3 years single.
Yeah.
I had a plan. I was like, nigga, I'm gonna be single for the next 2 years. Like, I had this shit all planned out.
I honestly never did that. Like, once I was single, I was like, well, you know, I just play this out until love shows up again.
I had it planned out. You know what I mean? You know,
I just so happened to go 2 years single.
You plan, the universe laughs. Like, nigga, you keep dicking down these girls.
Yeah.
One of them eventually is going to be like, nah, nigga. But, you know, there was a couple of girls, you know, when I was single, she was offering, like, hey, you want to be with me? And I'm just like, hey, it hasn't even been a year.
Yeah, there's a saying like that, what you said about the universe, but about God. You want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah.
That's what you said you're going to do? Okay.
You know, it's just, you know, it works in funny ways. So I'm just saying, like, and I know she's listening, babe. I'm happy in the relationship. Gonna get that out there right now.
I like that.
I'm just we were being honest with each other the other night, and I'm being honest here on to the world. You know,
see, that's because, man, that's the crazy thing about it. Like, with your situation with old boy, like, you know, you saying, like, I want him to be honest, but he's unsure about how he feels in some ways, you know what I'm saying, as far as being with you and taking it to the next level. He's unsure still. That's why he can't give you a full answer. He
has uncertainty. He doesn't even know what he want to do with his damn self.
Yeah.
And that goes, and that's life. That's what a lot of men are going through. And it's crazy. You think like a lot of men are alone, but I thought I was the only alone on this feeling. Now I figured out the dude that you're messing around with is having the same exact feeling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, I know there are men who are listening to this podcast are going through the same exact
I went
thing.
through that shit, and I told you before. Like I used to tell my sister all the time, if you run into a guy like that, don't entertain it. Just move forward until you find a dude that's certain. Because
But
like
see, but that's kind of fucked up. Because that's
that is fucked up.
But you're looking at,
you want-
he's
looking
being
out-
he's
I'm
being
looking out
big
for my
brother.
sister,
Yeah,
like,
he's being big brother. He's looking out
know
for the
what I'm
best
saying?
interest of his sister. He
Yeah.
he don't want to hear
You
little
uncertain?
sister.
yeah.
You don't want to hear little sister
hear none of
crying
that
to him
shit.
over the phone about a nigga that who was
'Cause-
unsure.
Yeah, because I was telling from my experience, I was like, I broke
Mhm.
a couple hearts, so from being confused, being unsure, you know, and I took it upon myself to not entertain girls that I was unsure about. So like if I have unsure feelings to move forward with you, then I'm not going to entertain it, and you know that still fucked them up, but I'm pretty sure they were better off fucking with me like that. So I told her not to fuck with those guys. If they ever came off uncertain, just move on. You know, just
Find
take
you a
a
dude
deep
who's
breath and just
certain.
move on, like, cause that ain't a good realm to be
Yeah,
in.
because I guess like just me being the person I am, I always think about others. Because hearing that, it's like saying, well, damn, that sucks for him, because when he likes somebody but it's taking him a little longer, it's basically saying like, oh well, if you're not ready, then girls are just not going to even wait for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I would feel as a man, that would make me feel even more insecure. Like, damn, like,
This is true.
So I
Well,
guess
maybe I should have said give a nigga a year. You know what I'm saying? Or something of that nature. Give him a time frame. And if it
a
doesn't
personal
naturally
one,
happen,
right?
Yeah,
like you
a
don't have
personal,
to
personal.
don't give
Nah,
them
do not go to that nigga.
ultimatum. Like,
Do
don't do
not
that.
do it.
Just
Don't.
letting you know,
'Cause that's-
followers.
Yeah, that's just gonna fuck him up even more. Oh
Yeah.
shit, I got a year.
Yeah.
He been thinking in the back of his mind. He's all taking a shower, thinking about it. He getting
Looking
her
at the
backstrokes,
calendar.
thinking about it, looking at the calendar like.
If you're in college, he gonna be sitting in that classroom like like Mike before he got his ass whooped on the wood.
Yeah.
Looking at the clock.
Sweating
A year
and
about
shit.
to happen. Tick tock.
You stupid. But go ahead. Sorry.
All the months flying
No,
off
but-
the calendar. Niggas sweating. Fucking
The red
fucking
circle.
analog clock is going really fast and shit. You hear the ticks and shit.
Oh my god. That's
So
funny,
give yourself a personal.
Keep that to
date.
yourselves, lady.
Yes, keep it to yourself.
I feel like both parties should give themselves a personal thing, like for the guy. If you know where your feelings stand with her that ain't gonna move forward, let her know, man.
Please
Just
let us
keep
know.
it pushing. Like realize it yourself, cause that's really what it is. Motherfuckers
Yeah.
don't realize it themselves. Like you gotta really take into thought, like, yo, if I haven't wanted to move forward with her yet, it's time to keep pushing, man. Let her know, like,
Yeah.
Don't
Because
waste
then
your
you're
time.
being selfish
Yeah.
in a sense, right?
Yeah.
If
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't-
In a way, they are.
If you know that, okay, things aren't going
It's
to move
just-
forward,
it's
but you're
just not
still
a- it's-
playing
it's
with
an
it, knowing she
indirect
wants
way.
more.
Yeah.
It's indirectly, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not knowing that they're doing it on purpose or anything. Because they're
Yeah.
not. But,
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
But for the ladies that are in that situation too, like you said, give yourself a personal time frame. If the nigga ain't came around by that time, because I know you're gonna give him plenty of time. Just keep
Yeah.
it pushing.
And like I said, fellas, if you kind of like tiptoeing around a relationship, you cannot be mad if she decides to up and leave.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
cannot.
You have to
'Cause
respect
some-
her.
You have to respect it.
Yeah, understand, ladies. Some guys and fellas, when the girl leave you gonna be like, oh shit, and try to get her back and fight for her, and then when she come back, it's gonna be the same shit.
Yeah.
You
Just
gonna be
to get back
to
to your comfort
soon
zone.
as she hug you, like, okay, you be hugging, thinking in the back of your mind, oh shit, what the fuck I just do?
I get another year?
You gonna be like, what the fuck did I just do?
I
Oh
just-
shit, I'm still unsure.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's deep.
That is deep. That's real.
That's hella deep. But anything in conclusion? I know we
Yeah.
kind of
So yeah.
went in on
So
this
just
one.
wrap it up. I mean, they pretty much wrapped it up. You know what I mean? Make sure that if you're uncertain, give yourself, both men and women, give yourself personal time frames on whether you want to move forward or not. What else? What else am I missing?
Oh well, men, have a one-on-one talk with yourself and really ask yourself how you feel about this woman that you're with before wasting her time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Don't waste my time.
Like, have a real ass talk with yourself, nigga. For real.
Like a real, like, back and forth, but just of you.
Look in the mirror.
Look in the mirror, nigga.
Point in the mirror.
And rap like Issa do. And Insecure. But be real with yourself. If you can't answer this fucking question right away, if you really have to think about it, and it's been a while, it has to be a while, of course, then that's your answer.
Yeah.
You're not sure, and it's time to move forward.
Because I promise you, we will respect it. And even if we get upset, we get in our feelings, we could have dodged a bullet on both ends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A fatal attraction,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Well, anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that NSA. If we had sponsors, we would take a break because this was long-winded as fuck. But if you guys want to pause for a second, catch your breath, collect yourselves, because now we're going to be in some fuck shit. All right, 2017. We talked about, we all talked about, relationship stuff, pretty much.
Yep.
So on the side of politics, pop culture, and hot topics and all that shit, what were your guys' favorite or unfavorite moments of this year? And what do you think of the overall theme of this year was? Like, what took over, what presided the year more? Was it more about sexual allegations or racism? I kept going back and forth between that.
Interesting.
That is very interesting.
Sexual allegations or racism? I'm leaning more towards racism.
Yeah.
Those are the two choices. Yeah.
Racism.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with sexual allegations, man.
I think it's because... Okay, go ahead. You go.
Because I know it got hot towards the fourth quarter of the year.
Yeah.
And then I know racial undertones happen. They're like, oh, how come the black girls didn't get, how come people ain't believing Lupita's story that Harvey Weinstein did that shit, but they believe in all these white bitches. Like,
right.
I understand that part of the racial undertone. But I'm saying, does it affect me? Yes, it affects men.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, like I mentioned before, niggas going to have to start complimenting women in the workspace like niggas. Like, niggas going to have to just, like, if the girls, if you have a pretty attractive coworker, you better look at her at, like, just a nigga. And keep it pushing.
It's kind of hard.
Well, I don't know. Dapper,
like,
don't even hug.
Because, like, if she got her hair done.
Handshake, you know what I mean?
She got her hair done, you can't say, oh, it's a fresh cut.
I'm like, yo, those
fresh, man.
Hey, yo, those curls are popping, yo. Keep it pushing.
Damn, girl, your hair whipped.
Stupid.
Oh, you got that shit laced out. I feel that. I feel that.
Right, I see you. You laced out. I see you.
I feel you. You laced out. You know what I mean?
You're so stupid.
I mean, those pants ain't mad tight though, but they look
see,
okay on
that's
you.
where you fuck up.
That's
right
where-
there.
You can't talk about her body like that. You can't.
It's like them Jesus clean though. They clean.
They clean.
They clean.
Clean leggings, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
they
the
clean.
design on
Yeah,
them.
so you could talk about you could talk about the material,
I
but
hate
you
you,
can't speak on anything body wise.
Said I like the designs on the leggings.
Yeah, that shit fire.
Imagine
Shit
that shit
flames.
backfire. She'd be like, "Which ones? The ones on the back?" And she turns around like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Push her, no.
Right,
then you
push
get,
her down.
Then you get.
I'll push her down and run away.
I just run away.
I'm like, I ain't trying to
Because
kill.
if I try to push her, that means I touched her.
Yep.
Hey, all I know is in my household, she gonna be like, "Good job, babe." You push her down.
It's
and
gonna
run
be
away.
like the meme. You seen the meme that I posted? The one of Lisa and what's his name? When you get into an awkward conversation and you just want to go, he starts rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
That's what would happen. That would be your best bet. Roll
like,
down that
okay.
hall.
Right. Okay, cool. Peace.
Which one?
Niggas start high fiving, dapping girls. I'm telling you.
That's
I
funny.
wouldn't
They
even
go
give
for
her.
a hug.
I wouldn't give them girls.
Right.
I wouldn't give them. I wouldn't give them girls the one-armed Christian hug either. With their hip out like
Yeah.
like I'm dancing
'Cause
from
you
North
can still
Carolina.
Get, you can still get side boobs. She's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, I'm telling you,
You just
handshake,
touch me?
nigga. We doing handshakes like LeBron James with his
You
teammates
so
with the Cavaliers, nigga. We doing secret handshakes.
So no
You
slapping
slap,
asses.
slap,
no
turn
slapping
around.
hit her with the
asses?
folks.
Yep. We ain't chest bumping and ain't slapping your ass.
None of that.
That's funny as fuck.
No after game hugs, because the way they hug after the game is like
Oh,
close
yeah.
as fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like a brotherhood hug. No. You don't do
Can't be grabbing the top of the head
That
like.
gotta be a skit. Like
You stupid.
I would be
Right.
confused as fuck as a female if a dude were to do that as I'm going in for a hug.
I've done that before.
Really?
Like,
I've
just being
done that before too.
funny. Yeah.
And I got punched for it.
Oh damn.
What?
Yeah, I got punched in the chest for
I
that.
ain't gonna punch it,
Open
but
chest.
I got the look on Nessa's face. That's what I got.
I got like I literally got punched in the chest for that. I was like, hey, I'm just trying to be professional. You know what I mean? Like you get acting all offended and shit.
That's super
funny.
offended right there.
Yeah.
Punching nigga.
You punched me. I'm still trying to greet you.
I was like violent. I'm telling the boss.
Harassment.
Right. She
Well,
harassing me.
it wasn't at the workforce. It was like years back.
Well, just imagine if you put it in the workforce situation. That would be funny.
That would be
Then I
funny.
could say that's sexual harassment. I could say,
He about to
sir,
flip
I
it
was
on
just trying
you.
to give her a handshake and she punched me in my chest.
Right.
I'm going to the HR right now.
And then they gonna flip it like, well, she felt threatened.
She gonna flip it and say that.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
my
I'm gonna look
God,
at
he
and then
threatened
I'm
me.
gonna look at the HR like, do I look threatening?
Yes, you
Her
are a
ass gonna
black
say, yeah.
male.
Yes, you light skin with dark skin tendencies. I listen to your podcast.
Well, bitch, you didn't subscribe. That's fucked up.
Dark skin side come out.
I'm like, yo, what you a bitch?
Damn dark skin
Case
son.
closed.
Fuck y'all motherfuckers then.
Right, flipping tables and
I'm on
shit.
my last check.
Throw a chair through an office window.
Take my little retirement shit that saved up because the nigga gonna be looking for another job
You
soon.
silly as hell.
That's funny.
That's
dude.
bullshit. But yeah, man, I know sexual assault and fucking
Yeah.
rape and racism was like the mad thing of the year.
I think because we're so used to racism, and then it was, obviously heightened with the whole
Yeah.
presidency. But I think with the sexual assaults, it's more.
He's like, oh shit, something new.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that's why it seems like it's a bit more, but it's because it's new and it's happening more frequently than something that we're used to.
And
always
more people are
happening.
coming out of like, Russell Simmons, fucking
Oh,
Marshall
yeah.
Falk.
I think the most interesting part about it was coming from Hollywood.
Yep.
All the urban legends and shit about Hollywood.
How
It's
the
coming.
underworkings of Hollywood, niggas
It's
snitching.
coming to
Yep.
surface.
They
And it's like,
snitching.
and we all like, oh shit! It's like the Illuminati and shit.
Yeah,
Showing
that's
itself
real.
for real. Like
The
Terry
re-
Crews and fucking like you said,
Yeah.
Russell Simmons talking about some.
Do you know Russell Simmons' name is taken out of the credits for the Off Def Digital Jam?
Oh, word.
Def comedy.
Yeah, on Def Comedy on HBO.
That's crazy. Dude.
Yeah, just Stan Lathan. It's usually Stan Lathan and Russell Simmons, but
Yeah.
Russell Simmons' name taken out. And he was one of the originators, but I think he's fighting back. It's called it's hashtag not me,
Mhm.
saying that he didn't do it.
Let me
It's
ask
going to
you
be
this.
hard, though.
Let me ask you this. Even when a person accomplishes all that work, and they did the work,
Mm-hmm.
should it be taken away?
I don't think so.
I don't think it should be taken away, but that's just how fucking roll. That's
Yeah.
how it is. Because even if your innocence is claimed, already public
It's
perception,
still, yeah.
you're done.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still taken
Once
away.
you say some
Still
shit
hurt.
like sexual assault or molestation, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Assault, people like, okay, you whooped the nigga's ass. So
Mhm.
what? You know what I mean?
But,
But-
when you throw sexual,
But doing
into it,
sexual deviation shit,
Mhm.
oh man, it's
just,
a wrap.
Just getting accused.
Just being accused enough. That's what I'm saying. You gotta walk. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say if I do, do commercials or being booked, and I'm working with like, attractive female co-stars or whatever.
And they grope your nuts.
Nah, they're not groping my nuts.
The casting director is a female. She gropes your nuts. How bad
Look.
you want this job, Marco?
He said,
Look,
"Look."
How
man.
bad you want this job, Marco?
Look, man, I remember Andrew Schultz said that a director patted on his ass
Oh,
when he was shooting for a movie because he was trying to show how hairy his ass was.
Oh,
Now, if
my
I get
God.
groped on my nuts by a female casting director, hopefully,
He said,
That's- because hey, no offense to the homosexual listeners who listen to this podcast. I just, that's just not me.
That's just your preference, man.
That's just not me.
They better not get offended.
Just not me. But if that were to happen, I'll keep that in my memory bank. I'll keep that in my memory bank. So just in case I need to come and collect. You know what I mean? Hey, bitch, remember you grabbed my nuts? I'm a snitch.
Right.
I'm a snitch.
Her answer's gonna be you don't
Look,
have
bitch,
proof.
bitch, you're not a doctor.
Right.
We're not going to, it wasn't my physical.
Right.
The fuck you think this is? I wasn't trying out for the football team.
You know what? That gives me another question.
What's that?
Is it more impactful for men being accused than women?
Oh, yeah, it's more impactful for men being accused. Because it's just the men by nature and by public perceptions, they're more predatory than women.
More
Barbaric.
And not saying that women aren't predatory, because I think Jennifer Lawrence said that a female producer had a casting call, and all the people who are auditioning had to strip naked.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there just
some weird ladies out there.
Yeah, checking them all out and looking at their bodies, see if it's up to par, and touching them and shit. Like, it's crazy. Hollywood's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
y'all be crazy out there. And you know, I know I could talk about the occult type shit.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they love that.
you know, people love them conspiracy theories. Maybe those will be like my nothing to save segments, talking about a whole bunch of crazy conspiracy theories, get niggas scared.
Yeah.
You know,
that'd be dope. Yeah, drop a couple facts that make them think, oh shit.
like UFOs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know, people always say like Hollywood has the lowest frequencies in energy, so that's why Hollywood is always weird and all that stuff, because it operates at a low frequency level. But that's a whole nother conversation. But what was
y'all
another?
can hear that in 2018.
But yeah, what was another thing in 2017 that's besides racism and rape? Anything? Oh, what were you guys' favorite movie of 2017? Because for me, I was looking back, I was like, I will have to say Get Out.
I was just about to say, like, I have different ones for each category, and Get Out is definitely the thriller one or the scary one. I like it.
You like it?
I really liked it.
You really liked it?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
You should watch it. It's
totally
good.
Flip that into the gutter like the movie.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And then I know a late entry, I'm going to have to say, because it was talking about racism, that movie Bright on Netflix.
Yeah, I just watched, I would say 75% of it so far. I haven't got to the end.
What's your impression so far of the movie?
The first impression at the first 10 minutes of the movie was the whole racism.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is like symbolism for racism.
Yeah, basically. I mean, were you interested, or were you like...
Oh, yeah, I was...
And the critics were going around saying it's the worst movie of 2017.
What?
Why?
I don't know. Now, from then on out, I was like, these fucking critics in the geek culture are fucking the whole game up. Like, you guys, I don't know what the fuck you guys are on. I don't know who's paying you guys, but y'all niggas need to stop. Like, I'm looking from what the fans are saying. They fuck with the movie. The critics are panning the movie, but I feel there's an agenda why they're panning the movie. Bright is a $90 million movie. Never in Netflix they made a movie that budget just to go straight to Netflix. Meaning that it could change the complexity of how movies are going to be distributed. It could get the numbers, it could get streams, and they don't have to market as much. They don't have to go on tour. They ain't got to do no fucking like crazy premieres in different cities. It could just wham bam, thank you ma'am, $90 million budget movie in Netflix right then and there.
But they wouldn't get paid the same.
Oh,
as
they
if
getting
would be
paid.
on the
They getting paid
No, I said they
regardless.
wouldn't get paid the same. I'm saying like as they would had it been on the big
Well,
screen,
you're
right?
going to have to make some sacrifices for that to happen. But if the trend continues, if the trend continues, you know, it's going to be crazy. Like, I don't think HBO's doing some shit like that. I don't think HBO has original series, but I don't think they're doing shit like that. Okay, it's a meme real quick. What is it called when you don't want...
Oh, no. Did
Oh.
you miss? Oh, that's fine.
Oh, the Pepe Le Pew one. Yeah. Pepe Le Pew faces sexual assault charges after reports of abuse dating back to 1945. Yeah, Pepe Le Pew, man, that motherfucker, he coerced himself a lot on that poor pussycat.
At least he was a man that knew what he wanted.
Hey,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. And I know not to sound like, maybe I'm gonna sound misogynistic when I say this, but fuck it.
Like when you say no offense, but you about to offend people.
when you say oh, with all due respect, you're gonna say some disrespectful shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Warning: I'm gonna be sound misogynistic when I say this, but ladies, I know you guys complain about guys gawking at you, staring at you, giving you the wrong kinds of sexual attention, and undressing you with their eyes and all that shit. But when you're young and beautiful, you don't appreciate that shit. When you get older and past your prime, you're not looking as hot as you used to. You gonna miss them stares. You gonna miss them cat calls.
Yep.
You gonna miss that attention. I'm just saying, when you 80 years old, hopefully in your kid's guest house,
You stupid.
not in a retirement home. Hopefully, if if your kid can afford to have you at home, you gonna miss that attention because you're like, back in my day, I was abused. And young men used to always catcall me, and oh man, I missed that attention.
You so stupid.
I was Miss Southeast of 2010.
Oh my God.
No, he didn't.
Oh my God. You're fired. Miss Southeast.
Hell no.
I was Miss Southeast 17.
Man, hell no.
All the niggas all over the different sets used to holler at me. It could have been Skyline, Lincoln, Emerald,
You
Coast,
so stupid.
neighborhood niggas. They loved me.
You so dumb.
Oh my
Even
God.
the Cholos wanted some of this chocolate.
I hate you.
Oh man, but I'm just saying for real though. Like when you guys get older, you guys gonna miss that shit. So, just saying.
But yeah.
But
I hope what goes extinct is critics.
Yeah, because back to Bright, because like I think Bright is gonna move on. They already have a sequel.
Oh,
Netflix already passed the sequel.
Nice.
So the sequel's gonna happen. The stream's gonna keep coming, and if people are really engaged and they really like these original big budget movies that come to Netflix, it's gonna hurt theaters.
Wait, so you say you
definitely
didn't
gonna hurt
finish
theaters.
it, but it's a movie. So is it a long movie? Or?
It's like a
Yeah,
tour.
it's a regular
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Okay.
It's a movie.
It's not the first movie that came straight to Netflix.
No, but this is a big budget movie that came to Netflix.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, there was another one by default.
Mm-hmm.
By default. That shit with James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah,
But
because they
that
had
was by
to.
default though.
Yeah, but no, there was another movie with John Boyega
Mhm.
in it.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, big. I was saying. The
Yeah,
big
a big budget movie. Yeah, but I think this is gonna change the game. It's gonna be a game changer. Sorry,
Mhm.
and that's the thing. I think people are scared of game changers, like Netflix was to Blockbuster, or how Amazon was
and
to other
Hollywood
stores.
Video.
And now, what Netflix is doing now, that AMC, Regal, like any motherfuckers who own theaters ain't gonna like that shit. They are not. So they gonna probably, critic, say any kind of mean shit. And some of the critics are just like, it's the worst movie ever. Nigga, how?
Right.
I mean, it's not a perfect movie, but nigga, I seen way worse movies than this.
You know
And
what?
they
I
said
feel like
ever?
Nigga, they said it was the worst movie of 2017.
Oh damn.
Like, obviously, they haven't watched the Fan 4 stick from last year.
You stupid.
Or they seen
Some terrible
Spider-Man
movies
3.
from this year. There's some terrible movies that's worse
Yeah.
than Bright, because Bright wasn't bad at all.
Bright is not bad at all. Y'all need to stop tripping. But, man, I know
Like
it's
some
getting...
personal shit.
I know it's getting kind of late. Well, we have two categories for Jig Is Up awards. We're gonna probably put them out on the website of our picks, but we're gonna start it off with the ladies. Ladies first. We call this the Jig Is Up Women of the Year. Pretty self-explanatory. I'll talk about the nominees and I'll break it down why they're there. We'll start off with Cardi B. Need I say more? Bodak Yellow breaking all kinds of records.
It's something that Nicki Minaj haven't even done yet. As far as
Yeah.
making #1 on the
Mhm.
Billboard.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj hasn't done that.
And she got a fat ring on her ring finger, engagement
Yep.
ring. So
Yeah.
despite
And rose from adversity.
Yeah.
What they call love and hip hop.
Yeah, she got out of love. Like, it was so bad that Jocelyn Hernandez had to make a diss song on Cardi B that didn't nobody care about.
I didn't even know
didn't
she
even
made
care.
one.
See, there you have it. There you have it.
Jocelyn is trash, man.
She is.
Angela Rye, one of the most popular, colorful CNN political analysts out there. And she's dating Common, and she's getting death threats for that.
Death threats for dating Common.
Yes, she is.
Not the stuff she
Why?
says on CNN, but for dating Common.
Why?
Yo, that's funny.
Jealous women.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You ain't know the ladies love Common?
I mean, yeah, but I thought it was something else. Just
He
people-
got a
people
beard, right?
dating.
No, he got a beard.
He got
Yeah,
a beard.
Let me some common shit.
Look at see the bald head and the beard.
I
Bald
wouldn't
hair,
threaten
deep
no
voice.
bitch over it, but damn.
Bald
conscious
head,
rap.
deep voice, conscious
I
rap.
love
He loves
Common.
his black women.
You stupid. Stupid.
And then I have to nominate Gal Gadot on this one too because she was the female superhero of the year.
Mm-hmm.
She did something that Marvel woman couldn't do. Was hold down the fort by herself and being the only DC movie that fans and critics can agree on.
Yeah, she's the female superhero that can hold her own, let alone shit on a couple of you male superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the scene stealing Tiffany Haddish. She had her book, The Last Unicorn. She is one of the most fastest rising female stars in Hollywood. And she did it by being her motherfucking self. She did it
Real
her
as a
way.
motherfucker.
I like that.
She went white famous quick.
White.
Real quick. And then, of course, Issa Rae, the ever so talented writer, director, and producer of the hit show Insecure. So, those are our nominees of Women of the Year. Stiff as fuck. No sexual allegations, pun
You
intended.
Stupid.
But man, who do you guys have?
So it's Cardi B, Angela Rye, Tiffany Haddish, Issa Rae, and Gal Gadot. Yeah. To me, it's between Tiffany I'm gonna go with Tiffany Haddish, dude.
Tiffany
I'm not
Haddish.
even gonna say between. It's close. It's some close shit, but I give Tiffany Haddish the nod because I like her style and I enjoy watching her grow to success
Mm-hmm.
throughout this year.
Yeah, she.
The others I did too, but hers was
they
just
had great
that much
years.
more
Yeah.
significance to me personally.
I'm gonna roll with my girl Issa.
Issa.
Mm-hmm.
Issa had the show.
Cause remember, I wasn't
And-
even fucking with it with the first season when you guys kept talking about it, like, you know. But then after that,
Taking
when
your
I
sweet
actually,
time.
I did, and then actually, when I actually started watching it, I got hooked, and then I just like who she is as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like she's so fucking dope to me,
she is.
and she represents Cali. Yay.
Well, Tiffany Haddish from LA too. So.
Yep.
they're both-
I'm not taking that away from anybody else. I'm
Yeah.
just saying like
Yeah.
that adds. to
Same
it.
for me. I'm not taking that away from Issa
Yeah.
because I picked
E-
Tiffany.
like
Yeah.
all
Hey,
y'all.
hey,
all
if
y'all,
if y'all
to-
listening,
to-
I
to-
love all y'all.
to us, all y'all ladies
Yeah,
are winners.
all of y'all are
Yeah.
winners.
All y'all ladies are winners, and all your own. Damn,
Because I fucks with Cardi
tough.
B tough too. I fucks with all of them tough.
damn, man, it's just tough, man.
Cardi B is dope as a person. Tiffany's dope as a person. Issa's dope as a person. Shoot. Angela Rye is dope as a person. Gal Gadot is dope as a superhero.
You know I love me some Wonder Woman. But yeah, I picked Issa for me.
Man,
What
shit.
about you,
What you
Marco?
gonna do, man?
Marco.
Damn, that shit's tough.
He gonna say Angela Rye. No, I'm like, I'm like.
No, I mean, we can make our own picks, and then we can just post it up,
Okay,
Mm.
yeah.
and then they can decide the winner. But
I like your penmanship
Do a poll.
for a boy.
oh, this is sloppy shit.
I don't know. I've never really seen you guys write. So
I'm not
it's
even-
weird. Everything's through text, technology.
I'm gonna go with Tiffany Haddish, man. I'm gonna go with Tiffany Haddish because what she was doing was groundbreaking shit.
Mhm.
She was in Girls Trip. She stole the show. Girls
she sure
Trip.
fucking did.
Girls Trip was a very successful movie with an all black cast.
Mm-hmm.
She was the SNL guest host, the first black comedic host to be. She made history with that too.
Yeah, as a female.
As a female, I should have also should have written that one girl that I forgot her name. She's a screenwriter, and she was in the show Masters of None, and she wrote the episode about being coming out as a lesbian during Thanksgiving. That was a great episode as well. I forgot the young lady's name, but she's a very talented writer too.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Tiffany Haddish, man. Tiffany Haddish, she got her book. She had an incredible year. All these women all together had incredible years.
Yep.
And from Cardi B hitting the charts, Angela Rye having a very popular podcast now, dating Common and being one of the most sought after political analysts on CNN. From Gal Gadot being one of the most sought after female superheroes to lead the way and inspiring young girls to believe that they could be strong and powerful and majestic as Wonder Woman.
And attractive at the same time.
I knew it was coming.
And drop dead gorgeous, and then Issa Rae being a producer, director, creating a very cult classic episodic series about millennials going through relationship problems and life problems, and all together it's very relatable. So all y'all ladies are winners in my eyes. I'm pretty sure as far as this podcast eyes as well.
Yep.
Now,
yeah, my eyes too. I'm looking at all y'all.
Now for the men of the year, for Jigs Up Man of the Year, we have nominees Shannon Sharp, we have LeVar Ball, Colin Kaepernick, Charlemagne the God, and Joe Budden. They all had some interesting years. They all had some great years. From Shannon Sharp, they said he was too country. He couldn't be on broadcast television. But he turned out to be one of the most articulate, most colorful sports analysts in the morning when you watch Undisputed with him and Skip Bayless. And he keeps it real. And he's hilarious. And he shot his shot at Nicole Murphy and lived his dream.
But was he in a relationship?
Yeah, he a nigga for that. Shannon Sharp is still nominated for Man of the Year because you know what? We fucks with Shannon Sharp. Okay, LeVar Ball. Me and Easy went to see LeVar Ball at Complex Con. Very outspoken, colorful dude himself. Very animated. Very disruptive. And he's challenging not only the NBA, the sneaker industry, and the NCAA now. He wants to start his own league for high school people who graduated out of high school students who just want to play ball. The shit, his unconventional ways are gaining attention through everybody. From him saying outlandish shit, saying that he'll beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1, to having
saying his son is better than Steph Curry.
Yeah, and giving me a headache listening to him on CNN and talking about we send Donald Trump some big baller shoes.
Oh my god.
Red, white, 3 pairs, one red, one white, one blue, because we patriotic.
That's funny as fuck.
You know who I'm pick. Y'all up. LeVar Ball, that's who I got.
That's who you got. So forget Colin Kaepernick, who basically started the whole kneeling, and that shit carried on even without him not being on there. Like, niggas really to boycott the NFL if he didn't get signed, which I feel that in a way is kind of stupid because it's like, why would you want to boycott something that, the owners don't give a fuck about him regardless? You know what I mean? Him giving the job back to a place where basically it's like modern day slavery, gladiator type shit. It's like, what's the point? Like, because he's out of a job. I mean, he's doing great things without the NFL. So he continuously still giving out his money and his generosity with his time, his money, his resources to underprivileged kids, to Meals on Wheels, and he's doing and he's being a very supportive boyfriend for his girlfriend Ness Nitty out there for Hot 97. So, Colin Kaepernick is still doing things outside of the help of the NFL. And then 2 of my favorite media guys now, Charlemagne the God. What can I say? Black Privilege. That book is fire. I listened to the audio version. Shit was hilarious to me. Brilliant Idiots podcast. We got to meet him out there in what was it, Pasadena? No. It was at the Grove. It was in the Grove. Yeah, met him at the Grove. He just You know, he's a Marvel head through and through, and sometimes he bashed DC a little too bad. But, you know, I look over that. But through and through, man, this dude's been authentic. He's been producing, you know, television shows. He's on, you know, he's on another level. You know, he keeps elevating himself, and to this day, people are still looking forward to Donkey of the Days every day. This dude, like, for me being a podcaster and seeing how he moves as a media personality is like, this dude is a monster.
Yeah.
This dude's been doing it. He's been perfecting his craft for over 20 years. Damn, think about that. He's been an intern for a radio station since 1998, and to be to where he is right now, even with like maybe little speech impediments and all that shit, he still overcame all that shit. So, Charlemagne, he's up there, and then Joe Budden, late entry. You know, Joe Budden is ruffling the feathers of hip hop media. He's very unfiltered. People ain't gonna like everything that he says, but he speaks with a lot of passion, and for him creating a baby, you know, with everyday struggle and feeling that Complex weren't going to compensate him for what he believed that he's worth, he walked away, and now he got the bag from Revolt.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't get mad at that. He's, you know, and you know, he just got his son with Sin Santana, so you know he's on dad mode. He's looking out for his kids, but everybody's gonna remember his antics with the Migos, the BET Awards. Yep. He just walked out the interview. Oh man. And you know, people and Joe Budden, you know, I know Zach isn't too fond of Joe Budden, but I just keep telling Zach, like, dude, the shit he does, it works, man. It's about him. It appears that he's the Ken Taker's old hip hop head. It's like, get off my lawn, you fucking mumble rappers, you know. You know, back in my day, we had to say syllables and enunciate our words, you know. But Joe, he relishes on that role. It works a lot. It works well, and the power and the impact that he has on everyday struggle, because they quit. Like the fans, I think Complex lost 600,000 subscribers the moment he was out. Overnight. Gone.
That's powerful.
That's powerful. You know, and basically he's just saying, you know, powers to the creators, because it's a new age. You know, maybe he had one hit, but he's still around. So you can't really fault him for that, man. So Joe Budden, last entry for Man of the Year. So for Man of the Year, personally, damn, this one's tough too. Shit.
I got Cap.
You got Cap?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't G Coop make him Man of the Year too?
Yeah, Citizen of the Year.
Oh, okay.
And they got a lot of angry people angry about that.
Yeah, they go all chill out.
Yeah.
Go to Subway, have a sandwich.
Angry conservatives. I'm gonna go on a limb, man. I'm gonna say my man Shannon Sharp, man. I'm gonna say my man Shannon Sharp.
I like that choice.
I'm gonna go with Shannon Sharp.
I like that we have different choices right now. Yeah. I like this.
I'll go with Shannon Sharp, but we'll go ahead. We'll post it up on Facebook.
See what y'all
and let y'all know what y'all think, and y'all could talk about it amongst yourselves. We did have another section called Fuck Nigga of the Year. Nominees were R. Kelly, Tyrese, Oscar De La Hoya, Donald Trump. And Scammers of the Year, so far we had Conor McGregor with Floyd Mayweather and Kimberly Jones.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the rest is to be seen.
What you think about Jordan Peele being in that Man of the Year nomination?
I mean, he may get out, but what else did he do after that?
Broke a couple records with it, you know.
I mean, yeah, the accomplishments came with it, but I'm like, what's the body of work though?
Well, I mean, Joe Budden's nomination wasn't much body of work. It was just the impact he made with the one thing he did. That's what I was, you know.
Okay. Jordan Peele, I have Jordan Peele.
Give him a little shout out, I guess. A little spotlight.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. I had Jordan Peele in there. So we'll go ahead and do that. Any closing remarks? This is the last episode of 2017. Anything you guys want to say before we dip up out of here?
2018 is going to be a great year. Because I said so. LOA.
In the universe. I'm saying it right now. So I'm on tiptoe in 2018. No tiptoeing.
No
2018. Tiptoe 18.
If you could choose one song that's going to represent 2018 for you, what would you choose? And it could be new or old song. Like that, this song is.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't have a song, but the album I've been playing the most throughout 2017, "Drunk" by Thundercat. That's my favorite album of 2017.
I have to look. Give me a second.
This a great, and don't get me wrong.
Look.
2017 has been a great year for music.
Oh yeah.
Great year for music. But personally, for me, when I'm driving, when I'm vibing, I'm chilling. If I need to go to sleep, I'm playing Thundercat.
He said if I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, I fell asleep when I heard that shit. So I've never really got to listen to it.
But when you get to
Is that
listen
a
to it,
diss?
No.
No.
I was just
Yeah, I fell asleep. That
No.
shit is whack.
Shut up.
motherfuckers like, Ness don't know shit about music. Thundercat was a classic.
Man, I was in the car probably already half asleep when the songs were playing, when the album was playing. That was when we was coming back from
my birthday, from Knott's Berry.
Knott'sberry.
Everybody knocked out too. Poor baby, she had to drive.
Aw.
Everybody knocked out and I played the music. I know she was like, man. She's like, you lucky I like you, nigga.
Right?
Right.
You stupid.
She's like, you lucky.
That was a fun
She's
day.
such a sweetheart.
I would have to say
Yes.
444.
444.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
so
a
are
good
you?
choice.
So are you guys talking about? So you guys are going based off of?
I'm going
best
based on
album
albums.
of
I'm going
the
based on
year,
personal albums.
Yeah, because
2017?
I can't do one song right now.
Yeah, I can't do one song. I could just go by albums, something that I vibe with the most. I would say Damn in reverse.
Yeah, because Damn was another one I looked at.
I'm-
The Daniel Caesar album was one I kind of checked out. But yeah, 444 was the one for me. I don't have one particular song. That's
What
why
about you, SZA?
yeah.
Like that SZA album.
No,
That
I
Janae
never even
Aiko.
listened to. Oh,
What?
I haven't listened to it.
You heard the song The Weeknd?
Yeah, barely. I started hearing it because of how big the message was behind it. I
Side
guess
chicks.
you can say. But other than that, like, I don't care for that song. Like, I listen to it, but
She's like,
I
I ain't
don't
no
care for
fucking
it.
side chick.
Hell no.
I don't give a
I
fuck
ain't playing
about-
this
I don't give a
fucking.
fuck about that song.
My man is my man.
And
Yours
that's
is
it.
not at all,
That's where it
bitch.
ends.
You stupid.
Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, Friday.
Shit, I'm trying to get
that
me
nigga
a
is
man.
mine
Fuck around
all weekend.
trying to get somebody else's man. Hell no, I'm good off of that shit. As far as albums, I can't really say that I had an album this year that I had on repeat that I can think of. Of course, I know there's more music in the beginning of the year, but I don't know. But the reason why I asked, because when I listen to Pandora, at times I listen to Spotify more, but when I listen to Pandora, the song that like gets me and I'm just like, okay, I'm ready for 2018 is Glow, Drake and Kanye. Like when
Wow,
I hear
she
that
went
shit,
to more life on us.
yeah, sorry guys. I don't know.
She
when
went
I listen
all
to
the
that
way
shit,
back to the beginning of the year. More life, nigga?
that's like, I know 2018. That's like how I'm feeling.
That's crazy.
That's how I'm feeling.
This is the only year I think people looked at Drake's body of work and just said came and went.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually every time a Drake drops an album
Yep.
this year, it's shit's on repeat. Like More Life was kind of like, it was a flash in the pan.
Yeah, for me, it's been that way with his albums coming and going.
Oh, we know.
But you know, welcome
know how
guys.
you feel.
Welcome, welcome to the party.
Yeah.
But that's my.
I
song
will
for
say
2018.
Division too. I like that album, the latest Division album, The Morning After. Fuck, dude, so many different albums.
Shout out to Zach, because that's the first time I ever heard about them was when he was talking about it. That one episode.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Shit, man. Let me go ahead. Oh yeah, as far as likes on Facebook, shout outs to all the people who we invited to like. Hopefully we're up at least 200.
Yeah,
So
forgot about
if
that.
it's up close to 200, can we hit the 300, 400, 500?
Just
keep
keep
it-
up from
Keep
here.
rising to the top.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Trying to get our community popping over there. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at JigIsUpPod. And if you need to send us a listener letter, let us know. If you need some advice, hit us up at jigisuppodcast@gmail.com. And if for some reason, if you cannot find a podcast platform of your choice, or even look us up on YouTube. We do have a website, thejigisuppodcast.com, and you can catch all of our episodes in there. So you could backtrack and find us saying a whole bunch of fuck shit. You could find points that we contradict ourselves, but you know what? That's the part of growth, motherfucker. So go ahead. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Go back, listen to the archived episodes.
Triple dog dare y'all.
And shit, man.
Now
You won't hear from us till the next year.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put out a compilation episode of all the highlights and favorite parts of 2017. But until then, if you enjoy listening to this podcast as much as we love making it, because we do what we love and love what we do, and if you're not being your motherfucking self, you know I gotta say,
The
jig is up. NBO. Bruh.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Yes. Happy
Thank you
New
for
Year.
listening. See you in
Shout out to you
2018.
guys for rocking with us.
Episode 100 coming soon.
Jeez Louise, that's crazy. That's crazy.